Working people, we are.
We have it all, so the role guy. The song is running.
Okay, then you put it up.
Yeah.
Alright,
You tell me how you wanted it, and do it.
cool. Then that's a hard one.
That's a whole paper too.
Okay. I want to do that, I don't.
Take a while. Sorry. Yes, I do. I need the first to come on market. Friday. Hey, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
I'm fine. We'll bring the back. Yeah. It's all right. Preliminary tonight.
Yeah, I saw them all stacked up on the gate down there.
Okay. This afternoon, and I don't believe it's right yet. Let's go. On the 31st of October, they're gonna be,
That's doable.
I think that's cool too.
What was your original statement? Was later than that or?
Oh, yeah, they had 100 and some, some odd days, they got water. How's everything been? Days, and they will still have. Well, they'll still have about 50 days between. That's fair.
You can.
So it's good, that's good.
Good job.
I did, just over there. Okay, so we were just raining in my lap. It was really nice.
I'll be disappointed if you didn't.
I was like, I was your son, yes, that she maybe one or two days, about the road train, all over.
Well, you just.
No, we didn't talk one because I was like, not under.
It's not an out.
It looks, I've never been. It looks
Well,
right.
it's not the legend thing, I could get in my brain, I have to go to the. It's just,
Well, I'm looking at.
good walk around over there, kind of. You have to, and whenever you do so, she was like 5 or 6 different roads, intersection, highways, or something like that. I'd be standing there too long, which were 5%.
It's nothing there.
Yeah.
Nothing behind you or.
Thank you, I appreciate you doing
So. Study is way off. They're running.
We get to the YouTube part, I did, and I
Going.
copied it.
Slowly. At the time that it was finished, but again,
You got this.
next week, and then all will be left is.
Just talk to the girl all
Where did you go?
the bases.
Well, we flew
Yes.
to London and spent maybe 4 or 5 days there.
Yeah, no, to our train, one day.
We stayed on the shore and went
Around all the bases.
and stuff. But we went to bed.
They can go on the spot.
The historic building.
Yes.
We took a couple of
Because they've done-
all these buildings.
They've done all.
I'm not saying.
So we
I mean, yeah, we're not saying that exactly what saying your Georgian numbers. So, you know, the big curved ones that you see, where it's all townhouses, they're huge. And then all the other ones around the town, so they all are the same, which is, I never thought about it, it's kind of interesting. And then you'll have these,
They're all things.
Material.
Yeah.
and that was like a party town.
Is they.
But that was like,
anything that-
maybe for one of the ask what to go there, because the hot was the hotbed. And then, you know,
They
they
don't
don't have any party.
And all of it.
You know, she was some of her whole entourage and staff, everybody, she had hundreds of, if not thousands of people
Ross and all of
to
that.
be there, so.
So
It was just.
big review today.
We just got-
The future of us,
They toured us around there. Went up to Scotland and
Frank has 4 pages.
just did a lot of good places.
Sounds fun.
That was fun, because that's what's good.
I didn't remember
Yeah,
the
it's just-
number in this place. And this form has to go with this one.
It's very quaint.
I kind of driving, but looking at this little patients, you know, always go right.
That's it, well, we're starting.
No, it's a country, well, he knows most of the time, the only way we get out of this.
It's not so conversation.
Yeah, just.
Nobody else wants to see the train.
And probably goes to seven anyway. But yeah, the train tracks was, once we got out there in Scotland, it was a little more open and you could see around it. And didn't see a whole lot.
No, at the end, he said, you know, I have
Just
14
one more thing.
apparently I'm not doing very well, and the 2 guys.
John Murray,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, let's call the meeting to order, please. Would you take the roll?
John Eden, here. What? Here. Renee Newman, here. Betsy Blakely, Keith Gossip.
Okay.
Here.
I see.
Anything in this room.
Margaret, Bob Hamilton,
Here.
Rick Ganser.
Okay, and can we get approval of the agenda?
I make the motion to approve the.
Excellent. Your second?
One second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
See any packets for the first item?
Yes, she did not submit it in time, actually. She was on the agenda last time. And she did not submit things to me in time to actually be in the packet, but Mark, I checked with Mark and he said that she could present because we saw her last week, so she's on Zoom.
Okay,
This is her most updated version of the shed that was you asked her to change it last week. And she gave me an updated plan as far as where the shed is. I let her know that that spot would not be acceptable, so she did edit that and should have an updated version, hopefully, this when you can share it on your computer.
Kristen, are you hearing us?
Kristen, can you hear us?
Oh,
We can't.
Yes, yeah, I can hear you now, sorry, yes.
Okay.
okay, well. Then let's go ahead. So if you would state your name and the address of your property, and then just describe for us what you're doing.
Kristen Gower, 1551 Main Street. And this is for a shed to go into the back of the property. Yeah, I'm not sure what else. No changes from last week in the sense of usage and that kind of thing. But I went back to the design company and they said it was no problem to take out that full pane of glass. They could make it as small as you wanted. They recommended a 1/3 glass so that it matched the window on my primary property. So there's a glass door, so it's matching that. So it's 1/3. And they put in those paler strips, so it blended well with the aspen trees, which they said would make it look less like a black box. So now it's kind of got those kind of earth tones in there as well. And they put in the square windows to match the windows things that you like. And in terms of the placement, I can put it anywhere in the property. I really don't mind. So it needs to be behind that front line. And initially when I read the design book, it said in the rear of the property, but then Kezia just said I needed to bring it forward a little bit, which I just did a few minutes ago, but I'm not sure if you have that latest updated one. So yeah, that's what we have.
Which size? You've got 4 sizes listed.
Sean, was that you? Sorry, I didn't catch it.
Which size? You got 4 different sizes listed in this package. Because it says 8 by 10, 12, 14, or 16.
This is a 15 by 8.
Okay, that's not one of their options, but okay. That's so close to 8 by 15.
Okay, I see what you were asking.
And in the eaves, you've got 2 different sizes. You've got 18-inch overhangs and 6-inch overhangs. Which ones are you?
They could do either, because I said because we had failed the first time, they said they could do it as much as you wanted. I mean, I prefer the shorter one, but if you prefer the bigger one, we can do the bigger one.
12 is what we usually say, so.
Okay.
12 minimum is what we usually say. They have 18.
Sorry, can I just check? There were 2 different sheds that I submitted. One was the one that I prefer, which is the one from last week, but changed with the less glass and the kind of earth-colored strips. And just in case that one didn't meet approval, I also put in a second one that had the eaves on the roof. So I can't see which ones you're looking at.
So they only have the second one, Kristen, because one of the explicit things they asked you for was a roof, and that first submittal you gave to me didn't have one, so I only gave them the second one.
Okay. Okay.
I did talk to the company this week, and they've got new models coming out for 2025 that will have different shaped roofs and overhangs, just to let you know.
Yeah, I had a chat to them about this. So actually, I have to change the cup. So the one that I really like, the one that was more kind of eco and blending with the environment, is the one that you guys didn't like last week. But their pitched roof one is for a much larger property, so not at the kind of under 120 square feet one. So then I went with this new company, Studio Shed, who can do the smaller design and put the eaves on and that kind of thing. But the one that Kezia didn't put in, sorry, I thought I was going to be able to talk through both. She's right, it doesn't have a roof, but I looked at some sheds around my neighborhood, and quite a few of them are flat and don't have those kind of pitched roofs. And the idea with this one was that it kept a low profile, so it didn't interrupt the views. And when I was going through your design book, that was one of the kind of design principles, trying to kind of limit the height and that kind of thing. So when you sit on the deck, or when you sit on my neighbor's deck at the moment and you look towards Goonella Pass, the flat roofed one is the least, obstructive, I guess. But if you don't have it, I'm probably not making sense to you if you only have the second one in front of you.
I wasn't here the last time, so could I ask, how does this relate to the, to what the house looks like? I don't have the house in my head.
Same
House is
color.
an evil weed, black siding.
You can page up or down and see it.
Okay, thanks.
But anyway, I guess the second one that Kezia's put in here is a much more kind of, it's much more of the neighborhood, I guess. Can do the eaves, however, whatever size you want, and then they've got the kind of square windows and doesn't have the big glass and things. Doesn't have all the eco-friendly things of the first one, and it's uglier if you ask me, but there we go.
And the shed is off to the, as I'm looking at this picture, it's off to the left.
Yeah,
And
Kind of in the middle.
we're on the street.
Yeah, it's gonna be by the tree line as you go down the street,
Yeah.
so I mean, it'll be pretty visible.
It will be pretty visible.
uh-huh.
Which way is it facing? Is this, the door facing the house?
Well, we don't have an updated site plan yet, so.
But the last one,
There is a, sorry, I'm not sure if you're talking to me or not. There is an updated site plan. So the way that it goes, it would be against the tree line, so 25 feet back from the property line as requested. Then the entrance door would be on the door facing the street, so it matches the house. And then I positioned it so it was back from the front line of the house.
Do you have that on your computer, Kristen, that we can see it? I didn't.
We're in the back here, so she's talking
Sure.
about that.
Yeah, I can open it up.
What I'm trying to get at is, does this face the,
faces the street.
if this faces the street? Oh, okay.
Did you want me to share my screen, Keisha?
Yes, please.
But all I'm sharing is the topograph map with the site placement. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
If it
Okay.
was this, it would repeat the line of that house.
Yeah, but you'd have 15 feet.
She'd have 15 feet in the forward direction.
Yeah,
In the short direction.
Yeah,
Oh,
The
okay, I
lot
got
lines,
it. The lot does this.
right,
yeah,
Oh, okay, never mind.
because it's a long skinny line.
yeah.
Well, it's a triangle shape. It's a long skinny line.
Okay.
The property is the triangle, and then the building is the 8 by 15, so kind of fitted into the trees. Can you see my screen, by the way?
If you could zoom in, that would be good.
Sure.
Because it's very noticeable on Main Street.
For sure.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fine. But there's no one touching it.
No, there's no.
And
It's right there.
then we've planted trees down here, so there is like more kind of Christmas trees and a choke cherry tree and lily trees down there. So there's nothing in the road and the building.
Looks like it's still in front of the house.
I don't know where else you could put it.
They'd have to move back towards the house. And then you can move back.
You know. Because it can't be put in front of the house. That's the setback.
You mean it's too close up to the road?
Correct.
Yeah,
Can it just step back?
it would have to move towards the house. Because of the way the property shaped.
Okay, because so we can't step back.
No.
We have to get closer to the house in order to be back a little further.
Correct.
She has to have at least 5 feet behind, but she has a little more space behind that she can have versus the front is 25 feet.
Yeah, so this red line here marks out 25 feet, so it's slightly more than 25 feet positioned here.
So it is set back 25 feet from the road.
From the property line, yeah.
If it's set back 25, then that should be fine, but it doesn't appear that way. But I can see that well on the screen.
Except that that's what you're saying, that it has to be set back 25 feet.
That's the minimum, yeah.
That's the minimum, that it has to be set back. So if it's set back 25 feet, it's not gonna appear to be right along the road.
Correct.
No, yeah.
No.
So I think that,
Yeah, so it's quite. Sorry if I'm interrupting because I'm not sure if you're talking to me, so please tell me if I'm interrupting. But yeah, so 25 feet back from the road, more than slightly, and then there's trees down here as well. So I think that the more that you move it closer to the primary house, the more it will be. Because last week you said, which I completely understand and agree with, you didn't want it kind of slapped back in the middle of the backyard, kind of filling up the kind of big open green space. And you actually asked me last week to push it back further to the corner of the property, which I did. And then Keisha saw it today and asked me to move it forward a little bit. So I think this probably looks like quite a good space in the sense that more than 25 feet back from the road, in the tree line as much as possible, but not slap bang in the middle of the open green field.
And, um. And essentially, the intent is that its color matches the house.
It's not street.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
The intent is that its color and its essentially siding matches the house.
Yeah, exactly. They did exactly the same color. It's even called the same color. So yeah, it's matched to the same.
It's, you know.
And the windows, I mean, the windows are vertical accent windows,
Yes,
so they kind of go with the house as well, so I think it fits architecturally, I think it fits fine.
It's definitely better. So where's it?
Did you do sightings?
We did not know. There were no signs that she.
Accessory.
Christie, as far as there's three pictures with eve lights, what's your preference?
With the eaves, are you asking me?
Yes.
The shortest one.
18.
Yeah, I mean that would be my preference, but
So the shortened back and the shortened side eaves would be 24 on the front and then 6 on the side and 6 on the back, is that?
yeah. But honestly, I don't mind if you all have a preference. The roof is not. I don't mind too much.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think the key is the one on the front that makes it stand out. And that's good. So do we really care which one of these three?
No,
She goes
no,
with?
I think they're all fine.
I think they're all fine, so you have your choice on the.
Okay, thank you.
If we want some siding,
Oh, yeah.
all right, we have 3. And we're on page 100. Which is no accessory structures, including sheds, barns, and garages. It says, A1, locating an accessory structure to the side of the primary structure, but set back substantially is also appropriate, and this one is set back. B, construct an accessory structure that is subordinate in scale with the primary structure. It's certainly not fighting with the house over size. C, yes, the accessory structure should be similar to the characters those seen traditionally. And it says shed roofs are appropriate, and this one has a shed roof.
C1, show.
Yes.
What section is this?
I am in, chapter 14, section 1, new accessory structure. Page 100. So we did A, B, and C, and, what is the siding on it? What's it made of?
C1. C1.
I see one.
Composite material.
C1
basic rectangular orange.
No, what's the material?
What's the material?
Material of the siding.
There's one there, not the roof.
Just open this up. Let me look at this one.
But we can also include E, maintaining the simple detailing. It doesn't have a ton of detailing. E1, E2.
It is James Hardy fiber cement siding with brushed aluminium.
Okay. Then I would say D 1 and 2 apply also.
And then what is the roofing material?
The roofing material, I think I did did I give you a whole spec there for the roofing there, Kezia? But the roofing is,
I did not receive that.
okay,
There was one. Wasn't
all right,
there one?
I actually have that one here, the whole roofing spec, so I can actually read that out to you. Signature specs roof.
You can share your
Is-
screen and if that works.
Oh yeah, oh, you know, it's the one that I sent you, but doesn't say what it is, what it's made of. So let me just go back to the website here. Two by six roof rafters, Galvalium roofing, 26 gauge GALVALUME roofing with 2 by 6 rafters.
Yeah, that's another standing, the standing seam. Not that you're gonna be able to see it.
Understand,
You'll be able to see it from above.
Maybe coordinated also.
I could,
That's okay, for sure.
well, you know what reflected, huh?
The
Okay,
the only stipulation would be that the dark mat.
Yeah, it needs to be painted, so it's not reflected.
page 97, section, we're now in chapter 13, section 2, roof materials. B, metal sheeting or standing seam metal roofs with a baked on paint finishing or rusted steel sheeting are generally appropriate. Metal roofs should be earth toned. We suspect you don't want this to be white or silver.
No,
And have a matte finish, so it doesn't sort of shine in the night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we need anything for the windows? Because they're basically just painted.
I don't think so. I think the accessory building thing, sort of handles it. It should be
Yeah.
similar in,
Similar to the house.
yeah, similar in sense, so I think it handles it. But if this is a metal roof, we want to.
We ready to approve the motion?
Okay, are we ready for a
Alright.
motion?
Yes, I recommend that we approve the application for the shed at
1651.
1651. Clifford Drive,
No,
Main
it's
Street.
51 Main.
1551 Main Street. With the sightings. There's no,
Mm-hmm. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Is there any more discussion or audience comment? All in favor? Aye, yes. All right, thanks, Kristen.
Okay, thank you very much, Kezia, for your help. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Mike Huggins?
Yes,
Okay.
I think it's super that it's the Dunkel house.
it's what, the Dunkel House?
That's what
I didn't know it was called the Dunkel House.
But it was yeah. Did you see the history?
Yeah, I did do that afterwards, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, we've never called it the Dunkel House, but that apparently is what its historic name should be.
Actually. More like Dingle House, but.
Or DPR.
Yeah, exactly.
An ill bitty house.
Okay, if you want to state your name and the address of the property and then just give us a little description of it.
Cool, my name is Mike Huggins, the property is at 1010 Tawas Street. Most notably across from City Park, on Tawas. And on that block is the smallest of the house and probably the most distressed of house in condition. So when I went up to the market, I instantly saw this opportunity to really beautify it. I mean, right when we heard about it, we were actually at the Slacker race at the park and got to see it like right in front of us when the listing came up, and they got really excited right away. So should I go through the intent of what we plan to do?
Sure.
Yeah, so after looking and getting educated more about, the historic structures and what, can and should not be done, we really kind of decided just like to really rehab exactly what is there. Mainly the distressed areas is the front door itself and having that professionally rebuilt. I did want to get rid of the coffin door, but I was educated on that. It was probably a no-go, which I've learned to be fine with. And just kind of painting it the same color as the siding to make it kind of disappear. Just having that small house, having two doors, which is awkward to me, but otherwise, everything else is just rehabbing what is there currently. And then in the backyard, installing a 6-foot privacy fence, cedar with a dog ear, which has been used at neighbors' adjacent yards, and it can be found around town quite frequently. And right now, the fences, or the backyard is surrounded by neighbors' mix-match fences, and so this would give a full uniform look in the backyard. And I did provide some kind of mock-up pictures of what that would look like, look through. And then, the patio is kind of like a semi-modern brick, both patios front and back, and it must be replaced probably in the 70s or 80s. Want to replace that with a more natural looking flagstone type product. What I have listed is a manufactured product that looks like flagstone. Just been told by my installer that that would be the most stable when it's installed, so we don't have to deal with like, flagstones, moving and whatnot over the years. However, we would be using real flagstones to replace the pavers that they already have. They have some natural stone pavers that are spread out that connect the front door and the back door along the side of the house. And then right now it's brick going to the front gate. We would do spaced out natural stones, flagstones, to create that pathway. But the actual, flat patio where you would put potential furniture and whatnot would be this manufactured product that looks like flagstone. And I guess example sheets, Keystone Hardscapes catalog picture to show what that would look like. And on the back of it, it's kind of got the specs, the different randomness that is available on it. So the back east elevation siding, and so it's got an addition that was put on many years ago, and it has kind of a rustic cedar like I think you call it shape siding, or it's like shingles to me, but mixed match. And I was looking to replace those to identical product, but not paint over 100 times and not missing pieces. However, I was educated by Acacia that that's possibly not a desirable option. But if we can do, I would like to keep it cedar and just do regular cedar siding if we can't do the shake. And I'm fine going either way on that. And I did put in a sheet kind of using the example of that cedar siding and then like a little cabinets done with it. Because that addition is just notably an addition to that house, even though it's really old. There's just like the roof line changes, etc. And so I definitely want to kind of change the material from the rest of the house on it. And that's where I want to come up with something a little more rustic cabin feeling. It's not visible from the street, but it is part of the exterior of the house.
I guess I don't understand what's the drawback to cedar, shingle or cedar shakes on the back?
Oh, I don't know, I just, I was told it's possible that, that wasn't a desirable material choice or design
You
choice.
wouldn't want on a roof.
No.
Siding is fine.
Yeah, okay, well, it would get back to that with comments, I'm gonna just go through the whole list and we'll come back to each one.
We don't do this as Sunday.
Well, but it's on it
but
already.
it's on it already.
Yeah, and I mean, it'd be that's
It's not on.
It's nice to mark the.
No, I have no idea. It's interesting because what is evident about this house as Mike has said, is that, I mean, it's so tiny, but still, that back piece, if you look at the diagram of it, the exterior plot plan, there is this tiny little jut out. And that's where the house used to end. And
Yeah.
that piece on the back, I mean, this is really typical, that the piece on the back has a shed roof kind of piece. And it is undoubtedly when you could finally get some water and you could finally have, you know, yeah, that's your kitchen, bathroom and everything got added to it. But it is a historical addition. You know, we have tons of houses that have tons of houses. This is not an uncommon thing to happen in our historic houses, that you have a house. And then you got the ability to have your plumbing and you did a shed addition on the back of the house. But we have no idea what's under the cedar shingles, do you know?
Some plywood, yeah, some of it's rotted, we replace that too, give it.
Yeah, but there's no taking off the cedar shingles and all of a sudden you're looking at,
It's done.
It's not the same shingles in the north.
It's, lower to that.
Yeah, so that one side that goes to the neighbors is probably the original siding,
Yes, yeah.
and they continued over in,
That's the view there.
yeah, and they continued to that bump out.
Yeah,
I'm just not financially committed to replace all that to match the front. The front is like a
board back.
board back, but it's got like a detail to it, like they're routed out, like, so it's got like a channel like on the,
Yeah, but you're not changing that.
So
no, we're not changing that, no.
Not touching that, so that's not on the
Yeah.
The question becomes the addition on the back, so do we stay with the fact that somebody shingled it somewhere along?
Well, didn't shingle all of it, because the north side is not.
No, they shingled the back piece.
Right.
But that's the only piece you're talking about re-shingling.
Yeah, no, for sure, yeah, just the backyard and going around to the other side, which wouldn't be visible from the street either. What you have a view there is visible from the street.
That is, the north side's.
The north side is, but the south side isn't really right now, but with the other proposition with the fence, we'd like to connect that privacy fence right where that addition kind of meets up. So that privacy fence would block that as well. Not saying that it would be an eyesore, but
Is the addition on the property line, or would there be a fence between the addition and the adjacent property?
it would connect the adjacent property so we can have an enclosed backyard.
Right.
Over here, no, the fence would not cover that up. Cause this is,
I don't
you
see-
see the fence comes into right there.
Yeah. I think if he likes the shingles and wants to do that, I don't see a problem with it, you know, he doesn't have to match the rest, cause that's the way those houses are. Be probably easier to board that in it, wouldn't it? But,
Well, it's going to put back with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a lot cheaper, right? Once they start pricing out this sheet, it's gonna, holy smokes.
yeah,
That's really expensive.
I was like, really, cedar shingles, I like it, actually.
cheaper.
Yeah,
Because he sits on his property line on that side.
Yeah, I mean, the fence won't cover up that side. That side would still be visible.
Well, this part will still be visible.
Right.
But he's not shingling that
Yeah,
part.
yeah,
Yeah.
so just
He's
the
just
backyard.
shingling the back, and he's not even shingling, or a little piece around to the south side.
around the south side, yeah. And that south side would be behind the proposed fence.
Yeah.
Right now, it's got a chicken wire fence that was put in there.
Yeah.
But we want like a true cedar with a gate, so that way we contain a pet in the back and whatnot.
You mean livable space?
Was that, so yeah.
No, it's,
I think that's cool.
But then item number 4 is there's a big silver chimney that goes to a wood burning stove. Removing that, because we're moving the stove altogether. It takes up a lot of space and what the living room has.
There's another one.
the insurance reasons.
Is it a pipe?
Yeah,
The old chimney's staying, right?
the old chimney staying, you know, and getting that repaired, that dead end, it doesn't go anywhere, it's not being used for anything, but
Yeah, it stays.
Yeah.
It stays, yeah, it stays.
It's just a silver
And
stove
they-
pipe.
The gutters, when we get to the gutters, yeah, the hash browns, but they will be painted to go with the house.
I haven't fully committed that, I thought I'd start off with galvanized, just to have a metal or a different type of material look to it. But the half round is expensive, I like to show them all.
Says
I
it
can't
should
put
match.
that, no,
Well, if they're galvanized, will they weather? I mean, will they get gray looking?
They should match the.
You will
oxidized, yeah.
definitely be showing them off, they will be the most visible thing that you see on that house. And one of the reasons, because gutters were not in any way traditional on historic houses, they didn't have.
the half gutters,
Yeah.
that's what you say.
It's, well, I shouldn't just say that, because some of them had guttering systems, the Hamel houses was very interesting on how they did the oil windows and how it. But they certainly didn't have metal gutters sitting on. I am sure you can find pictures of other houses.
I know, that's, like, this is just down the street, there's like that, faux copper gutter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and, but what we have.
That's copper.
Been,
That is
that's
copper.
actually.
That's Chris Cassis's.
But that's real copper,
It's
I
copper.
just had it tarnished yet.
It's still there, right?
Yeah.
yeah, it made somebody in
It's
town
got a
go.
finish.
See, it's copper valley.
And then the other house has theirs painted black, you know, it's,
Yeah,
it disappears.
it disappears.
Yeah, I mean, I just put a half round gutter on my wife's shop that you could get it in all different colors, it's all.
Yeah.
Just form it that way.
It should not be
And I-
the focal.
You know, I've gutters in my house now too, and yes,
Well,
they're painted dark green.
The preference on the color is not to make it like a focal point.
Mhm.
So not the highlight color, if your eaves and everything are white, then you want it to blend in with those instead of that pop of color.
Yeah, he was showing them off, and it certainly was pretty.
Copper is nice.
I think that the gutters, as a matter of fact, don't even require a permit, provided they are half rounds and painted to match the house.
Okay, alright.
Okay.
That's
The
what's on the-
front door?
Actually,
Front door is just, I'm trying to find a carpenter to rebuild it to
Uh-huh.
exact specs.
Is that that green door?
Both front doors?
No, just the one, just the main door that's been used as a door is in complete
Yeah.
shambles.
and it's the
Complete.
first time George.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lovely door, actually. It was once a
Yeah.
lovely door. It is a lovely door. And then. Yes, repair.
Let me see, I gotta get that picture.
Okay, if we're,
Windows?
No modification of windows, I don't think there's even any broken panes. Now, if I want to replace the glass itself, what is,
that's not a problem, as long as we just replace it better.
just replacing the glass, but keeping the structure and the wood?
Yes, and keeping the number of lights, it's not like you could suddenly decide to take out all the,
All the dividers.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have this picture, but this gives you a better idea of that. That's exactly what this one's-
it's a classic door.
It's been facing west on this year.
And movies.
And it's, yeah, and not taking care of it.
Mhm.
And what's really interesting is the houses, there are a number of houses that have those little coffin doors. But it's quite frequently small houses too, and you wonder about that when they were.
Why?
Because you couldn't get out of the living room around all the corners.
Seriously, they don't have all the, I mean, that's a two-room, and you know, you look at the one.
Okay, if you
The
came
one
in the front
that
door,
is,
you have to go around the
and
corner.
has two doors, and there are a number of them that have this.
Yeah.
Well, my wife does too, and that one I understand, but
Yeah,
for something that's this tiny.
yeah. Mine had one that someone took out.
And then the awning is basically just missing one curved piece. So I was just gonna try to find a mill worker to make that and just install it,
Nice.
and then paint it and, pocket it.
Okay, privacy fence, fences are book two. Page, Duncan. What do you do with the now? Where are fences? Page 51. In chapter 6. Section 3. Page 51. Are you think actually it's going to be page 52, because that's where new fences are. And it does, indicate that the solid stockade fences are not in the front yard, but they may be considered in backyards and along alleys.
Are you doing anything with the front yard fence?
No, keeping that as is.
It says new 3-0 fence, yeah.
New one.
It said in your drawings that it was being removed,
Yeah.
and the new fence was being put in.
That must be a typo, it's talking about the front fence.
See next C2.
New. No, but that's, yeah, scratch that out completely.
So you know,
That might have been part of the conversation that I had with this after, because I remember talking about possibly moving the gates that line up to be straight out, but then after looking at the landscape, we were gonna rip out, because they have a big weird landscape, like fixture that's like literally in front of the gate. And so you like come in and do a hard left and then go straight into the house. And so then we came into this whole pathway to the existing gate. So no, there's no intent or plan to modify the front fencing. And that's actually in really good shape. It was in place at some point.
yeah.
And what about the little piece that's going across, to separate, did you plan to make that a 6-foot?
I was hoping to, yes. I know that one could be very questionable because it kind of is shown.
It's rolled back from the
Step
front.
back.
Yeah, it's bad. I pushed it back as far as I can up to that
Yeah.
transition.
It's set back, right?
It's set back from both houses.
Is it in the place where the current one is?
Well, they had two before. There was like chicken wire, like short fences. It was almost like they had something in between the two that they were keeping,
Trash cans.
probably, I don't know, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe keeping animals out of
Yeah.
trash cans.
Okay. And, the side yard fence should be set back from the primary facade, and it is. That's C on page 52.
And that's the first sighting I've heard you call. on-
Oh, well, we, B, B. B3. And
B2.
C.
B2 is
Yeah.
solid stockade fence.
Are inappropriate if they're in the front yard. Yeah, but they may be in the back.
B7 for the gates.
And D, the appropriate fence materials are wood, iron, wire, stone, planks. So I think that would cover the fence. The walkways. And these are little patios. Because these aren't sidewalks, it's talking about, these are walkways.
Well, we do have a patio too.
Yeah, we do have a patio. Patio is on page 72, we're in section 7. And what is the patio material again?
So it's It's a faux flagstone, it looks like flagstone, but they're manufactured pieces. There's a product sheet. Here, I can do this one.
One with the dog on it.
Yeah, that one there.
So is it like a concrete thing?
It would be a concrete.
Yeah, probably be that concrete, then.
Okay, stained and formed,
Yep,
okay.
Um,
And they're set like in sand or,
yes,
Do you have samples of it?
I do not.
Do you know where it's been installed anywhere?
No, I have something similar at our personal house, but it's a different brand of product.
So you haven't seen this one in person?
I have not seen this one in person, and
Mhm.
I could try to retrieve that and bring it back to the next meeting or future meeting and send it over.
Somewhere in here it says it's synthetic materials, we should have a physical.
Yeah.
sample.
but it says on 72F, appropriate patio material set in sand, and you do plan to set it in
Yes.
sand. But please don't put any concrete, breakout. Include flagstone, brick and stone. Other materials may be considered on a case by case basis, and then we would ask to see a sample.
Yep.
And that's actually helpful to us so that we know what somebody's talking about when the next person asks for it.
Okay.
you can, bring that to town hall and just drop it off, and then she can let us know that it's here, so you don't have to actually come to the meeting and be here for anything, you know, we can just see it.
So,
So, yeah.
We also would say F3, patio dimensions should be proportional to the lot and the
Yeah.
structure size. And yes, this is a little patio.
yes, well, the front one's exactly well, I mean, both of them are exactly what replacing what's there already, but I don't know if they're proportionate, and I'm very flexible, especially on the back one, if it needs to be smaller, cause it's just arbitrary, it doesn't matter to
Looks
me.
fine.
Yeah, it looks
No, it's fine. It's proportional. And this stone is gonna be used on both the back and the front?
Correct.
Okay, but then in walkways,
That would be an actual true natural paver stone.
yeah. And the walkways will be. no walkways.
And then that section on sidewalks too.
To include walkways, because sidewalks can be different from sidewalks.
internal walkways.
Chapter 6, section 1, page 49. G, divide interior walkways within the property, distinguish them from public sidewalks.
You're in the landscapes, yeah, that's where it is.
Okay.
Patios are in landscape also, but they're identical.
So that exactly the same.
Covers it.
And then G1, appropriate materials include flagstone, brick, gravel, exposed aggregate concrete.
Section, chapter 6, section.
Section
1.
Landscaping and site. Yeah. Okay, so that covers the walkways, and the,
Siding, cedar shakes.
he's repairing,
You're
Yeah,
replacing
basically
them.
it's replacing,
he's repairing.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying he's repairing them. We would, if he came in and he wanted to put those up, and it had been lap sided, there would be no way in the world.
It
We
was
would
not.
say you could take out lap siding and put you
Okay,
know,
well, but it
this
is,
is what's up there.
yeah,
He's
okay,
repairing his,
I agree with
because,
Bob too, it's repairing in kind.
replacement in kind,
Very visible in kind.
yeah, the
Okay.
replacement in kind is repair. Unfortunately, that would let people put 3-type roofs on, and that would not be good at all. But it keeps flying off in the wind. Even if we're not in Florida. And removing the silver chimney, as long as we're leaving the brick chimney, I think we have no sightings that need to be. And the gutters have, John, where are gutters these days?
What do we got? Chapter 6, section 8. I'm sorry. Chapter 6, or section 6, page 83. E.
gutters and downspouts are appropriate, they're painted to match the structure. And B2, historic homes should consider the half round gutter shape to accommodate the molding, and preserve the historic character.
Okay, are we okay with? We're not making the centerpieces, and rebuild the front doors are repair.
Yeah,
Not just repairing the door.
that big,
And
yeah.
you're repairing the porch, you know, yeah, repairs are reviewed. So the things that we are acting upon is the privacy fence, the patio brick, the, gutters. The patio brick and the walkway stone. The patio stone and the walkway stone and the gutters.
Yes, this is the fence with the first part. Okay. So is there a motion? I'll make the motion to approve with the citing stated. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Yes. Okay.
Awesome.
You have a copy of all this history.
Yes, yeah, it is.
So Mike, we did want to see a sample of that.
Yep.
Stone, but you don't have to come to a meeting or anything, you can just take it downstairs and she'll call us.
I would do that.
Thank you.
Thanks, pick it up, fixing up for your house.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. We'll have a coat of paint on it here pretty quick before it's done, but let's just show the neighbors that we're doing something positive on it.
Well, I think everybody's pretty fun.
Thank you much. Y'all have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, Mike. So this is an updated window schedule and a site plan for the change that we want to make.
Can you just change this?
Just some supplemental material.
Never just like starting to use. I haven't been here in a few Thursdays, I figured I can spend them.
You missed us?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if that's what you want. State your name and address for the project, please.
I'm Brian Schicker, and I'm here for 921 Main Street, no, 915 Main Street.
Is that the second house?
That's correct.
That's the one that's not even started
That's
yet.
the one that's not started. I've already made changes.
Okay, well.
What happened to the request, I mean, I've been around to make it taller?
It's gone.
No, God,
You're gone.
thank you.
Staying the way it was approved before, but now it's going to add a little bit of deck on the back end that you won't see from any elevation. Want to change the shed roof that faces south to a gable end that will cost you no money.
Okay, let's walk through what you're doing.
Yeah, so that's the east view. You can kind of see it in there, it's facing south, it's the little, yeah, it sticks up. But if you look at the south view.
Yeah, what's changed in the town?
So this east side is how the shed roof is. I don't,
It wasn't a shed roof, it was the other part of the state.
no, it wasn't able to, I just took this roof and pop it up a little bit. To make it more livable.
Did it
don't know why we-
It's a part of the gable?
This piece is probably, yeah.
Yes, so this is a half of the gable and you've just put it that side gable.
Yeah, this dormer used to be a shutter with 3 windows.
Oh, okay, and.
And I didn't like it. We made-
But this gable
this
will
makes-
not extend above the roof line of this one.
All the gables will be at the same time. No higher gables, just add a little bit more space to the interior living area that like rooms.
It breaks up that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It added water costs, so.
Okay.
And is that the only thing?
The downstairs deck that faces south, I believe was approved at 8 feet wide, I'm narrowing it to 6, and I'd like to add the L shape that connects it to face west. So that was in the plot plan that they just passed out.
Okay. What are we doing? Sorry, I was ready.
So approved, previously approved, it was just a straight deck that faced south. And I'd like to add on that little addition that faces west. that
Oh,
makes
yeah,
it
make
that
it.
Oh, that wraps around the back of the
Yeah.
house.
Okay.
And I narrowed it down, I think 2 feet or a foot and a half. We're at 8 feet now, 6 feet.
Does this affect,
Looks good if you get it to work structurally.
does it affect lot coverage?
Over my driveway. There's-
Yeah, but since it's an elevated structure, I don't know how all that's up to you.
He was at 32%, so I think he had a little wiggle room, because you can have up to 40%, I believe. Yeah. I'll double check that.
It's not covered with a roof, if it doesn't count.
Gonna be count?
Yeah.
No, it does count, because it's on the second floor.
So it
Yeah, I
doesn't-
thought that
was
was
on the main-
structural.
Basement structure.
But there's space underneath, so it does
It
count.
all depends on how you look at things.
We'll check it.
Okay, Brian, which
Because that is the
face
first floor.
The one in your right hand facing the street,
Is that the west elevation?
that would be east facing Main Street. So, yeah, sorry, there is a west on that one, but the one with the bay window, they're faced east on Main Street.
And this faces west.
That faces west towards the,
So,
towards the
so
range.
for the plans in the future, can we make east, east and west west?
I don't know how that got changed on that. My computer hasn't been talking or treating me very well lately.
Fix it, maybe I.
So I thought we fixed it too. Maybe we fixed
That's
it.
okay. This is going west. This can't be the back of that.
That's the front, that's the east, sorry.
This is good for,
We all do what's on it.
Yeah.
But none of these changes really affect the front of the house, other than the roof line, the shed roof to a gable is the way it is.
But what Joseph said is that the south will be very visible because it's substantially larger than the things next to it on the south side.
We will be, the only place you can see it from is Griffith.
But as you walk down the street, no, you'll see it
You'll
on
see the
Main
south.
Street as you.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm getting my dimensions or my directions.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see that from the blank block walking down the street.
Yeah,
You'll see
because
that
I'm
gable.
walking down Main Street, I am going to see this side of the
You will
house.
Yeah, it'll be
see
very
that.
So it will be extremely visible because it is so much larger than the two houses. Well, first of
Well,
all,
it's larger than the shed roof that was on there, because the shed roof had two. I don't know if we had-
yeah, but what I'm saying is it needs to have, we need to give this considerable, this is not a backyard view. This is not a side view that nobody's gonna see. This is a prominent view.
There is an empty lot next door that could have a house on it in the future where you will not see that view.
Oh, that might be, but right now.
Right now, there's no plans for
Right now, as you
that.
go down, you know, right now, there's the shed there and then you have a little house and you have a little house. And so as you walk down the street, this is going to be very visible.
Just as visible as the shed roof.
Well, this was.
The shed roof,
I think
this is
it's-
much better.
I think it was much better too.
Yes, because
And the adds, the windows that were in the old shed roof were not conforming to different windows in the house. And by making that gable end, I could bring
This looks
the
much better.
windows that were downstairs upstairs, and then the middle of the window is conformed with another window on the east north side.
Yeah,
This is the old one.
Yeah, this is much better.
this is much better.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is much better. Visually,
It
it's
is,
much
yeah.
better. Okay,
We don't need setting, we just need to do like stipulations or.
yeah, this
Notes that this
is,
is
what you're
amendment.
asking for is an amendment.
Yes.
I haven't had structural plans done yet, so I wanted to get all of my changes done before I did this time.
You may have changes to the deck when she gets structure involved and they'll come in with that.
Well,
You'll deal with that.
yeah, we'll deal with that when we come around the bridge.
Yep.
But I think I'm gonna hang on to all of this is your window stuff, yeah?
Yes.
Did you change the windows?
No, the windows, something,
Just those three windows?
those three windows were changed.
Okay,
The
windows.
original window schedule was incorrect. The one that I just gave you is the actual window schedule. Is that right?
One of the sizes was incorrect that I initially gave you on the amendment,
Yeah.
but the original windows that were scheduled were correct. I think was just,
The window schedule I just handed you is correct.
On the elevations, nothing changed with window sizes other than these three windows.
other than those three windows.
Okay.
We want to write one, that is my problem, and I.
The window schedule with the letters is correct.
Well, this one is here, says 11 on the bottom, and this one says 11A.
I think the 11 on the bottom is correct.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
no, they're continued on, so.
There's somebody, which one's right to put in the packet, so when I put my paper harness and I save all the grinds.
That's what I'm just doing.
That one's right?
Yeah.
We already put this here,
It's not there.
thank you.
I don't understand that it's a for the year.
Oh, for your purple.
Right.
I have the feeling this isn't the last time we're going to see.
I'm
Okay,
not
so
gonna
we
promise
just,
that.
we just need to make note of the changes and approve the amendment.
Yes.
Okay, so I've got, change the shed roof on the south side. To a gable.
Roof and the window. Change windows to match other windows in the house. As on the plans. I'm gonna need it. Love it.
Yeah, binder clips,
So,
I'll bring a bigger binder clip next time.
And then extend the deck, we call that a deck or a porch?
it's the deck.
Okay. Deck. West side.
Okay. Just guys.
Do I hear a motion? You want to hear the changes? We hear a motion. We are changing the south shed roof to add a gable and changing the windows to match the existing windows on the rest of the house. And extending the deck to the west side, forming an L shape.
So,
So that way, do I hear a second? Got it. All in favor? Aye. Okay, thanks.
thank you,
Thanks.
All right.
maybe the last time.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep this. Yeah, no, I'm not. Got so many.
You want to go through all these one by one?
Well, no, I don't think so necessarily. Unless we have.
Anybody got questions
significant
about it?
updates. We have significant updates on a couple, maybe.
There's a couple, yeah.
Is Pip's fence done? I think I saw some.
There's some wood there.
Some wood there, I haven't checked. I emailed him and said he had until December 10th, so that might have pushed him.
Yeah,
to
well,
do
I
it.
could drive by. I think that was,
There's wood,
yeah.
one strip of wood covering the metal post. That's what we asked for.
Yeah, yeah, that's
We didn't
good.
box it in?
No, we didn't box it, it's just a strip of wood on the front.
Huh,
You'll, every time the deer get angry, they'll, block it down.
really, it wasn't boxed?
It's so easy to get a photo. And we could take the Foley house off of this?
I actually just added it back to let you know that Jen gave it an address. It is now 635 Loop Drive.
Yay.
Okay. Isn't that interesting? It's not on Look Drive.
That's correct, but she spoke with the county and they agreed that that was the address it was gonna have, so.
Okay.
There's not a street in front of it. It's-
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that's okay, 635 Brook Drive, lovely.
Put that.
We have explained to the state what it would take to actually get water and food to it. I'm sure it's unlikely to happen.
I just wanted to let you know that Mothers is considering building a bridge on 14th Street.
That's,
Over the creek,
a pedestrian bridge?
a pedestrian bridge, yes. It would be in the right of way, so we would maintenance it. Town staff is supportive of the idea. There's a lot of community members who've expressed interest in helping out with that. Just thought you guys should know about it.
Yeah, we would think to take a look at what the bridge design is.
Right.
And there are some examples hanging out.
Mhm.
Wooden
it's not
bridges
a
that
bad
go
idea.
across the creek, you know, that's
Yeah.
not a.
And then. You can just read everything else. If you have any questions, we can call.
Yeah, we have. Maybe we don't, but right now, when we're doing the, trying to do the National Register, the internal National Register District.
Mhm.
And we do have a grant from the state to do that. I would think that with, yeah, I don't have the bandwidth to do any more designating local historical sites. So, I don't see us pursuing anything unless somebody really wants to take that on. I do think at some point we need to share your maps, right, because
Okay.
that's,
I don't know what's involved in all this.
yeah, but, you know, what we have said is
Sounds
we
like
should
it.
look at structures that were, you know, maybe between even 1920 and 1970. But anything older than 50 years, we ought to take a look at. And yes, if you could, yeah, as you wander around, start noting in your head things that you think, oh, we might want to look at that as a historic structure. You know, I think particularly the Chalet House on the corner of 10th and
Main.
Main might be one of those, but, you know, there may be others. So if we want to start looking around and see what we want to do, but I don't think we want to get ourselves into a grant schedule of we have to survey the whole place by a particular date. I don't think there's bandwidth for that. But boy, yeah, start to make your list.
Okay.
Of 50 and over, that would give us
Yeah,
70,
it's 19, yeah. 19
74 or 5.
Yeah, it's anything before 1974 at this point. Well, we have a couple of mid-century moderns. The interesting part of it is that for instance, the lodge down the street from my house, it has a historical designation because the front building is still there, really from the jail and the parts of the wall are from the jail, but the design.
Yeah.
Is a mid-modern design. It's, you know, but we have a couple of things that might be worth looking at.
And is in the library in that category?
Yes, the library's in the category.
What about the Buckley Garage?
Older than that was the previous.
Yes, that is,
Is it, okay, so it's already,
yeah, nice to meet you, yes, it was.
so it's still back far enough.
It goes back far enough, we get things out. But you see, I don't think we've got the library on our pickup list for the new registered district, and it's not gonna hold because we can't take it that far, so the library is definitely, we should try to do some library. But as far as getting into a whole grant requirement,
The library has a historic designation because, and I can't think of it right now.
In RE, right? Whatever that means.
It's National Register eligible, it has
But
been,
the person that actually, got. I'll have to look it up, I can't think.
yeah, but yes, it is an NRA because our surveys of it said that, you know, while we can't contribute, say it's contributing to our period of significance, it is a significant enough building on its own.
Yeah.
That it could have an individual application to the National Register, and it gets very confusing to folks, but if you're in a landmark district and you're contributing, the National Park Service doesn't want to give you a individual because they'd be trying. You know, it'd be a real pain in it. Anyway, anybody else see anything on this?
I also have it on my list to put historic signage as an agenda topic for our next meeting. Do you still want to do that? Do you want me to delay that further?
I think that would be fun.
Okay, so I'll keep it on the agenda.
We have a list of what we.
We have the existing list, yes. Mhm.
Okay.
If you
That's
have
the one
any.
you emailed a while back.
Mhm.
Okay.
You wanna do a quick update on 700 Rose? Or 700 College, rather?
Oh, yeah, I guess it's been 2 weeks. We spoke with Vince and he is excited about the proposed project. However, I conducted some lead tests that are officially inconclusive. But there was enough color in them that I felt it was appropriate to ask the owner to do his own testing and lead abatement as necessary, and then to inform the town when the building was safe for volunteers to interact with. I did take the time to reach out to a couple lead abatement people. One of them got back to us and gave us a bid for that.
What did you say?
$8,000. $8,400?
No, I know, it's very, very expensive.
Holy
That's pretty.
Does that include the
And
abatement?
that,
Say again?
Does that include the abatement?
that
Yes.
is.
Oh,
That's not the testing,
That's
that's the
all.
abatement.
That is the
That's
debate.
only the
I
abatement.
thought that was just the test.
No,
Wow.
I talked to the state people who did the test on Strutt Park. It'd be about $500 to have it officially formally tested with, you know, with a certified company and give you a report. I've done a little looking into it and I really would welcome anybody else's input, especially you, Sean. All the language associated with lead abatement is focused at houses where people live, and especially if there are small children and stuff like that. This is a shed. This is a glorified shed. It's just a big shed. There's no plumbing in it. Nobody lives there. Nobody's gonna live there. It's not clear on whether you would have to have it done professionally, or whether the owner, I mean, there's a lot about, in the literature, there's a lot about DIY type, but just take certain precautions. So, and Vince has some familiarity with this, because his mother's house down in Denver, they had to have someone come in and do some of that. So he knows what needs to be done, and he knows how to do it and stuff like that. So I'm not sure where that's going. I did volunteer, my son and my grandson, the three of us took care of the back of the parapet.
Yeah, that's.
So it was, still would like to put some, you know, waterproofing material up there, but it, you know, it's all plywooded in, you know, Vince supplied the plywood and stuff, so that's been taken care of. And, that was one of the biggest areas of concern, so that's all done.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'd love to see something move on this, you know, you're halfway tempted to get a good paint sprayer and just do it.
Well, I'm thinking we could probably, because the reason that paper's all kind of washed off that one section on the front, because back when they were doing his house, He went over and pressure washed it,
Yeah,
and was gonna prime it, and he just.
If the owner decides to do something to make it safe for the town and volunteers to interact with,
We're
then the
ready to
town
go.
can get back, can be involved, but at this point, I feel the liability is too high
Yeah.
for volunteers.
yeah, well, I'm not suggesting that, I'm suggesting that someone, not us, get out there with a spray thing and spray the thing.
Yeah, but that was the three generations of Hamilton's helping their neighbor.
Exactly.
He was happy.
The thing on the back page, Sixth Street some way, one way, some people want Sixth Street to be one way. What, you asked for thoughts?
Yes,
Well, my thought is, it doesn't change what Sixth Street looks like, does it? No.
it might, because changing the parking would be part of it. And there have been some requests to add.
You still wouldn't be able to park on both sides of the street.
No, but moving the parking from being horizontal to slanted is something that might be possible. Another alternative is somebody suggested that I put trees in along that area. I'm not convinced that this would make a significant difference yet. There's people who are determined to convince me that this is a worthy project, but
Well, as far as should it be one way or not, I don't think that's the business of this commission. If there are changes, if that requires changes in what the street looks like, we'd like to look at those changes. But
I think
we're not in the.
it doesn't make sense to me to make one street one way. You have to have a series, otherwise that's just.
It would-
Yeah, I don't think
yeah, it involves seven
functions, but I don't think that's our function to
Right.
particularly determine. If we're talking about doing a bunch of slanting parking and stuff, and you create a visual difference, then I think the commission would like to take a look at how that visual difference appears the way, changes the appearance of what our historic buildings look like to people. Because if you change what's happening in front of them, you change the view of the guy who's standing in the street with his camera taking his picture down the street.
Although we don't wanna see a bunch of new signs either.
Yeah, and I mean.
It would also be one-way signage.
There'd be a lot of new signs, I think, too.
I
There's
think
already
that
a
this
lot of
involves you
signs.
guys to an extent, like.
Yeah,
you're
so
probably
do I,
not- yeah.
but the determination really of
Oh,
which way
yeah,
a street goes is not us.
This kind of thing has reared its ugly head before too, with Rose and
You
Taos.
can tell how she feels about it.
Actually, I live on Rose Street, I would love for it to be one way, but it also needs either more stop signs or some speed bumps, cause it's already a racetrack. But it's not 2 lanes and a lane of parking, it really isn't. People pull in front of our house behind our car all the time because there's really not, so it's a little bit silly that it's two lanes of traffic when there's not quite enough.
I know.
one thing
It's the
if
only thing
we,
that makes it move as slow as.
A little bit, but yeah, it's still.
if we did the 14th Street pedestrian bridge,
Mhm.
probably that would come with the addition of a stop sign there and a crosswalk and some other pedestrian safety.
Yeah, well, that's way far down.
Should be a crosswalk there already.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the bridge is not a bad idea really, cause
Yeah,
you have to do a long walk there to get.
yeah, no, yeah, but that's my feeling on thing. What are its visual changes? And
Signage is one.
that's, we're not experts at circulation.
So-
Okay, update binders, has everybody looked at their?
I've been going through mine, cause I have a pad at home when we keep talking about the revisions we need to make. So I'm not sure if I'm missing stuff because it's not there, but,
There's a
I
list.
printed out-
There is a
you
list.
just might have been missing that meeting, but I
I
printed out.
got an email, but I
I can print you out a list next time
Okay.
of what I have as being in the binder. I know
Okay.
that there are some documents, like, we may wanna add to that list, the window proportion
Mhm.
document that Sean
Is it
gave.
11 pounds?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I have one of those, so.
Okay,
they
so
obviously-
Yeah, that,
yeah.
Yeah.
because I did not like that.
Are there more like this? Things that they give what we're trying to accomplish, I think this was really great.
Yeah, I didn't have that, I need
There's
something.
small ones in here and there, but that's.
Yeah, I know we got the small size.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
The other thing I didn't find in my book anyway, I did go over your checklist, was the town code stuff. 17, whatever, I don't have anything on that.
That's on the website, yeah.
Isn't chapter one? Doesn't it go into, book one, doesn't it go into what the town code is about?
All I had in mind was just
A copy of the ordinance.
yeah, well, yeah, it was like a page and a half.
I think it's the definitions is a big chunk of it. I just printed it for Sean also.
The definitions is in there, it's not the full ordinance, it's in there, 'cause that's a lot of pages.
And well, it's not the full chapter.
Yeah.
No, it's just.
Yeah, all I had was ordinance one.
Yeah, but the ordinance, the seven basic criteria out of which the guidelines are developed. And we ought to have those 7 basic criteria someplace. And I thought they were in, yes, on page 5 of book 1, we do have that. Those.
Everyone has all 3 books, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That is the basic criteria that the ordinance contains, and our guidelines are how we implement those basic criteria. And actually, each motion should
Yeah.
refer back to the basic criteria legally, but we don't, I've never done that.
Actually, that's always on the,
Yes, it's on any advisement sheet we
Yeah.
get, this is what Joan's reading. She's reading those basic criteria,
so I always fill that out for every
but that's what's in the law.
approval. Yeah.
And then our guidelines are approved to help us implement those 7 things.
Bob's talking about the municipal code. There's like there's a definition section that is added to the binder. So I don't know if you want that, but that's what I
Yeah,
printed.
it's your item 13 of yours.
Yeah,
And I'm not sure which version of the pre-approved project list I have, because it's not very on.
Yes, I think that all.
Oh, yeah, I knew one of those.
I probably all use the latest with the date of the projects, you know. what we have. And I have the comprehensive plan, but I don't know. The 2016 comprehensive plan, 2016, I don't even know if that's,
Yes,
The latest.
that is the latest. Not terribly much in use.
no, the comprehensive plan later should be 2016, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2000.
Oh, sorry, I said 2013.
I have an appendix B, which is the programmatic agreement for the I-70 mountain corridor.
I do too.
Okay.
I don't think that's on the list, is it, John?
Because that one should actually, and then, yes, I have a copy of the land use code.
It's normally good, it's not, right? No.
And I have an old standards of rehabilitation, I should get rid of that, because those have changed.
What was the I-70 thing you said, Cindy?
It's the programmatic agreement for the I-70 mountain corridor. And yes, it does, it does essentially discuss how they have to behave. Whereas the FHWA has determined the I-70 mountain corridor undertakings may affect projects included in the Georgetown Silverville National Historical Landmark. You know, it's provisions of this, relate to us the day that the interstate comes along and says they want to expand. We pull out this little thing and say, we have an agreement, these things you need to come talk to us about.
Do you want me to add that to the binder?
Well, I think people should have it. Because it explains what they're supposed to do and it's a professional. I mean, it doesn't run out in time. I have the comparison sheets for elevations, except that they're all done on. Nobody does their plans on, remember these?
Yeah, I've got those.
Yes, but these are done on a 3/16 rather than a quarter inch. And we don't look at any plans that are 3/16, so.
Didn't we update this? I feel like you did.
Somebody was.
Did you want to update those?
Uh-huh. I just changed the scale in PDF.
Again.
If I should throw these out then
Uh,
get a different, get different ones. Because it would be interesting to take something like Brian's and say, okay, let's place it on top of this and how does it?
yeah,
Mhm.
so, you have the January 2000 preservation plan? Is that what you said?
As in the preservation plan?
Well,
Yes, I think that's the last one that
Okay.
was ever done.
okay,
And we're
Yeah.
responsible for it, so if
Yeah.
you wanna get another one ever,
okay.
we should update it.
Yeah, item 7, 3/16 scale drawing. Is that the old or the new one?
That's
That's
like,
the old one.
because everybody does a quarter inch.
Right.
Yeah, everybody does quarter inch. So we need to get rid of those. The preservation plan is the last one, but if you read it, it's obviously 25 years old because a lot of those things have been done.
Yeah,
No, right, you know, you have to have a lot of experience to do that.
you know, got a whole box of stuff. Now I can't find my scale pictures on here.
Yeah, I put my new certified government thing.
Okay, here's. Here's my Hamel house.
Got the Hamilton.
Is that the new one? 3/4, 1 3/4, what's that?
I don't know if we ever
Oh, and
printed it.
about getting us a line, a budget line, have we discussed that with anybody? It's budget season.
Mary knows about it. I just need to read an ordinance to see if, she's basically fine with giving you a budget line either way. It'll either be under
Yeah.
the
Okay,
demolition by neglect section, if that's allowed and we can still access that easily. But if we can't access it easily, if we have to do all of the court stuff to get to that money, then it'll just be in its own section. But she's fine with the budget line.
Yeah, because I think we should have a budget line, and part of that budget line is the, is money for going to conferences and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because we're always kind of scrambling around with.
That money is designated to you, it's just in a separate
Exactly,
place,
but
yeah.
so, yeah, it is, but we're always saying, okay, let's find it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Mary hates that one because we pay for it at the end of the year and then you go and we get refunded for it
yes,
in March.
Oh, yeah, no, I
Drives me
mean,
crazy.
a single phone. I approve of that.
It's just this. I think that's that.
they don't take our word that we.
That's not actually.
Okay, I've just got minutes here. And I was not there, so. Anybody see anything on the minutes?
I wasn't, you know.
It looked okay to me.
I didn't see anything.
Make motion to approve, September 26th. Meeting minutes.
Okay,
I'll
Yes.
second.
all in favor?
I
Okay, Mark has decided it's,
moved to remember.
yeah, let's adjourn. Going.
I'll second.
So Mark will have to sign these. The minutes, there's no. Oh,
Yes, it's
okay.
kind of a bunch of stuff.
Okay, so there's actually another one in here too, so. These- tell you that one, I don't have to prefer.
Yeah, the only ordinance I have is just the government director.
Martin's done all of it.
What
But I'll
Brent has been doing.
I'll check and see if I was there, I signed all the ones that I didn't say that, right, so.
Another structures, and that.
That's fine.
And we're using that as the basis.
Just don't.
Thing, we also have the ones that we need to now include.